Lauren Sánchez Bezos just lived through one of those gut-punch milestones every parent dreads and cherishes in equal measure, dropping her son Evan off at college, and she says she's proud, heartbroken, grateful. On August 11th to 12th, she shared a rare glimpse into that moment on Instagram, writing, "Dropped off Evan at college today. 18 years of early mornings, late-night snacks and family dinners, and then there he was building his own dorm cabinet." It's the tiny detail every parent recognizes, the way a simple flat-pack shelf suddenly becomes the symbol of a brand new life. For context, Evan is Lauren's son with her ex-husband, powerhouse talent executive Patrick Whitesell. He's headed to the University of Miami, where he's expected to study business, a path she first teased months ago when she celebrated his acceptance with a quiet nod to the school's business program. Lauren also has a daughter, Ella, still at home and very much feeling the shift, and an older son, Nico, with NFL Hall of Famer Tony Gonzalez. If you've followed Lauren at all this year, you'll remember Evan and Nico walking her down the aisle in June at her Venetian wedding to Jeff Bezos, an image that felt like the culmination of one family chapter. This week's dorm room snapshot is the unmistakable start of the next. What makes this update so striking is how little Lauren normally shows of her children. The photo she posted, a back of the headshot of Evan crouched on the floor, assembling a dorm cabinet, was deliberate. No flashy reveal, no face forward, no designer-staged send-off. Just the everyday stuff, box cutters, wood panels, and a mother trying not to cry on the doorway rug. The caption did the heavy lifting: proud, heartbroken, grateful. 3 words, and every parent who's ever watched a full childhood blur past in a single afternoon felt it. In the days leading up to drop-off, she let the emotions spill a little more. In one story, she sent a shout-out to moms feeling the whiplash, how it can seem like you were just leaving them at kindergarten, and suddenly you're labeling dorm bins and counting hangers. She even shared a shot of those giant blue moving bags stacked beneath framed comic book art, the kind of domestic still life that says, "We're packing a life into the back of an SUV." It's a carefully curated openness from someone whose feed usually lives at the stratosphere, rockets, red carpets, regattas, and recently, a headline-dominating wedding that turned Venice into a 3-day catwalk. That wedding, by the way, matters to this moment more than you'd think. In June, Lauren and Jeff's ceremony in Venice was a blended family statement as much as a celebrity spectacle. Evan and Nico didn't just attend, they escorted their mother down the aisle, showing how central they are to her narrative. Fast forward to August, the same son who steadied her at the altar is now screwing together a dorm cabinet while she writes through tears. The symmetry is poignant, one milestone that centered her past, followed by another that launches his future. Public reaction has been swift and, frankly, unusually warm for a woman who's spent months under relentless tabloid heat. Fans and fellow moms flooded the comments with that familiar cocktail of empathy and encouragement, lots of "I'm crying with you, it goes by so fast, and you've got this." Even the entertainment pages that usually spotlight gowns and yachts paused to call the post relatable, a word not often pinned to someone who sails mega yachts and attends AMFAR galas. But that's the power of the college drop-off, it collapses the distance between the ultra-famous and the utterly ordinary. Everyone has a version of that doorway goodbye. The timing also tells a story. Late summer is when family routines split apart, one kid out the door, another counting the days to their turn, parents relearning dinner for 3. Lauren spelled it out herself: 18 years of early mornings, late-night snacks, family dinners, the entire tapestry of home life compressed into a single sentence. And then the image of Evan, independent already, figuring out furniture and the first rules of his new universe. You can almost hear the soundtrack, a deep breath, a last checklist, a hug that hangs on half a second longer than usual. There's a career mom layer here, too. Lauren's year has been packed: philanthropy, aviation, and that high-octane wedding whose photos traveled the globe. She's moved between space launches and society galas, between strategic initiatives and playful fashion moments. But this week's post cut through all of it because it wasn't about orbit or opulence, it was about motherhood as the defining job she's had for nearly 2 decades. It reframed a narrative that's often written about her, grounding it in something as universal as an emptying bedroom back home. And yes, there's the Bezos factor, which, let's be honest, always hovers at the edge of any Lauren story. Jeff, who famously keeps his own children ultra-private, has been present at the big family moments without turning them into a media parade. That boundary seems intact here. The send-off wasn't a spectacle, it was a mother-son moment shared in a single still frame, with words that say more than a carousel ever could. Evan's next chapter, by all indications, is underway in Miami: sun, humidity, and the hum of freshman year possibility. Business school workloads, campus coffee, late-night study groups, and the exhilarating, terrifying freedom of being on your own for the first time. Back in Los Angeles, Ella is adjusting to life as the solo teen in the house, and Lauren is confronting a quieter kitchen table, a calendar with fewer mandatory pickups, and the weird ache of a home that's proud of its missing piece. If you're new to Lauren's story, here's the snapshot. Former TV anchor and helicopter pilot turned philanthropist and author, mom of three, Nico, Evan, and Ella, newly married in June 2025 after a long, very public relationship with Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. She's a fixture at the high glam events, yes, but she's also the parent who remembers the early alarms, the snack runs, the family dinners, and the half-asleep rides to practice. That's the Lauren who showed up on Instagram this week, the one measuring a lifetime in small rituals, and one unforgettable goodbye. So where does the conversation go from here? Likely more of what we saw in those comments: parents swapping tissues and tips, reminders to savor the next phone call, and 1,000 versions of call your mom. Lauren's three-word mantra, proud, heartbroken, grateful, will probably echo through the semester for a lot of families sending kids into the world. And for all the headlines that chase Lauren Sánchez Bezos, this is the one that feels most human: the billionaire's bride who cried in a dorm room and posted it anyway. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.